He is a wrestler. He is an entrepreneur. He knows his MMA stuff. And on the stand right now is Donald Williams. He is one of the witnesses to what took place on that street May 25th of last year. And as you remember from the pretrial motions, the court has allowed him to give his MMA expertise opinion on the hold being used by the defendant, Derek Chauvin, on George Floyd. We are just about to that point in his testimony. Let's go back into court.
Do a chokehold.
Correct. And different. There's air chokes and there's blood chokes and there's limb chokes.
So explain the first two.
Air choke is more of like choking someone. They still have air to breathe in there, and they're able to, absorb it and feel it, and then you also have a choke where it's a blood choke where it specifically attacks the side of the neck and it specifically cuts off the circulation of your arteries and stops the different blood flowing from top of your head to the bottom of your head. And sometimes you could get in a blood choke and not know you're in a blood choke until you're unconscious.
In your training, have there been times when you've been rendered unconscious through a chokehold?
Correct. I have been submitted on a professional level in live matches, and I have over 30 jiu-jitsu submission matches where I have got caught in a submission before on a rear naked choke and a front choke. Only have been only choked out twice in the jiu-jitsu side, but on my martial arts, on the fighting side, I've been submitted maybe 3 times on a side choke.
So in that training, do they have to teach you what that's like so you know to avoid it?
Yes, correct. So it's a uniqueness. You have to kind of like be acceptable to being choked. You can't just it's not normal people can just really get choked. You got to relax. You got to be able to breathe. You got to be able to let the choke happen, and you got to be able to know when to actually tap out on the choke, because you're in practice. You're not trying to put this person to sleep, but you're trying to get them to understand how it feels to be choked. So we do go back and forth choking each other. Sometimes you'll see white stars when you get choked, and it kind of like helps you understand, when you went too far, and some people choke tolerance is higher than normal. Some are really low, where when you do put a blood choke, they're tapping right away, and some people will be able to absorb it and actually meditate there because they want to be able to be comfortable in the choke and be able to get out of it in live action.
So you use the term tap out, and what does that mean?
So tap out would be, for instance, so if I have you in a submission and I feel like it's getting to a certain point where it's not comfortable for me, I just tap my opponent, and my opponent releases his choke, and then we're back to grappling again. And I catch him in a submission, and if he's not comfortable, he taps. And this goes for the neck, limbs, and all that, so you don't harm each other during practice.
What can happen, have you learned through your training and experience, if you don't tap out, if a choke goes too far?
If you don't tap out, you can lose consciousness, and you can develop different, I'm not a doctor, but somnies from your brain to your body because of lack of oxygen and things like that.